Echo.
Good evening. My name is Carmen Nogueira. I'm here with my daughter, Kayla Nogueira. Excuse me, I'm very nervous, but
Take
for
your
my
time.
daughter, I will do anything, and this is one thing I will do. First of all, I'm stage fright, but my point is, I heard the previous person speaking about the fact that little businesses, he doesn't want it to go away and all of that, all of that. But again, I sat here quietly hearing about parking and this and this and that, money, money, money. But we're forgetting about our little ones, our little children, and right now maybe their big concern might be money or anything. Excuse me. But they're our first priority. Being that if you finally sell alcohol at night, that's one thing. By the morning, that's the city's job to clean that up. That's more police people out there. That's more jail, that's more taxes, whatever it might be. Now, 24 hours, first of all, if you go to any restaurant, you have to pay for a quarter to go in because they only let anybody that is sitting down eating go into the bathroom. Well, what about they're passing by the school because Farmer Fish is right in the middle of the heart of Miami Beach, which is forgotten because everything's remodeling with these big trees that before, back then in the days, a building couldn't be as tall as a palm tree. Now everything's money, money, money. Therefore, we're forgetting the little heart, the little children that are going in there, and now they want to sell alcohol 24 hours. Therefore, we have an alcoholic, and excuse me, I used not to get technical on situations, but you have somebody that, a tourist or whatever it might be, doesn't know nothing, going by there, and pops up, okay, there's a school. We have our security guards, we have all of that, we have the best, I mean, they're sitting everywhere, fine. But what if we have entrances everywhere, and they do come in. They're drunk. Everybody here is an adult. Everybody here has gone drunk once in a while. We have our children there, our children. Now, whoever is voting for yes, alcohol, guess what? They might not have a child there, but we have our children there. We are the parents, and these are our hearts. We see the news, we see everything. We pray for them, and then for someone to just give somebody an alcohol, for them to benefit for the money, or for the city to get tourists and all that. But what about the heart? What about this is our life, our children, and that's the way I feel about it. And my name is Carmen Nogueira. I work here, and I've been a resident. I've been a student there at Farmer Fisher, and I've been here all my life. I am a local. I'm what you call a local in Miami Beach. I've never left here, and I'm leaving that still, but now my child is going through this. So please,
Thank you
really consider it.
Thank you for your comment. Okay. Yes, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, mayors and commissioners. My name is Armando Vega. I'm here because my daughter goes to Farmer Fish School, and I would appreciate that before you make the decision to go in favor or against the sales of alcohol, to please think about the kids that are the school that is so close to the business. Nothing against the business being there, but the sale of alcohol, I think, will be something to consider before it gets approved.
Okay. I thank you, sir. Sir, come on up.
My name is Timothy Sally, and I'm a teacher at Feinberg Fisher Elementary. I've been there for 24 years at Feinberg Fisher. And we are a school. Our students are doing well. But to grant that club permission to sell alcohol within so many feet from our school, we're 1420 Washington. They're 15 in the 1500 block. I was sitting here, they asked me to speak, and I said, well, what can I say? And I thought about something. They say, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. And all the beauty that they have inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Make the children laughter. Remind us how we used to be. So please, please, you know, I took out my time to come here as an educator, 33 years in the system. And we need to help our children. Our children are in trouble. And if you grant that, you just add to the trouble.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other folks that want to speak?
I just wanted to summarize that,
Okay.
you see, the parents here are so concerned, speaking from the heart. We're aware that they're not asking for the license for 24 hours, but the hours that they're asking for is more than we need or should have in that area. And we thank you for having us as early as you could.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, let us, as far as the school is concerned, that pretty much has been dealt with. Are there any other folks from the school that haven't had a chance to speak that wanted to? All right, let us continue on where we were going that way. We'll have the doctor, followed by Erica, followed by David, and then move.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, for the record, my name is Morris Sunshine. I live here in Miami Beach. As you know, the planning board has twice examined this proposal. On both occasions, they have refused to approve this proposal. On the last occasion, the vote was 6-0. One of the issues which was raised, which was new, was lap dancing and the significance of lap dancing as a means of sexual arousal. I have, if you don't know what lap dancing is about, I have 2 videotapes which I'd be pleased to leave with you. That is how I discovered it.
Ron, can you roll those tapes now, please?
Yes. As a matter of fact, Mayor, I thought about actually putting it on, and I decided that Channel 20 and the FCC would not want to put it on. The issue is not and never has been nudity. The issue is the sale of sexual favors via lap dancing. The sole purpose of lap dancing is to bring the customer to the highest possible level of sexual arousal. The consumption of alcohol is designed to kick up the arousal process. If you don't know what I mean, the local ads say it very plainly. They say, friction, full release. Friction, full release.
We heard it the first time, though.
Yes, but the people in Hollywood and Orlando have not heard it.
I guess.
I think that is what caught the attention of the planning board, and that's why I think the vote was 6-0. The biggest downside of this bill is it will release a gang every night of intoxicated young men in a state of arousal, which can only make them ready for anything. And I think if you look at this from an economic point of view, it should give a huge boost to the local prostitution market. The police, as you know, have declared Washington Avenue from 14th to 16th Street a high crime area. This club sits right in the middle of that area. I'm almost finished. I would like to remind you that the Pink Pussycat, there was a raid at the Pink Pussycat approximately a month ago by the Miami-Dade police. 25 arrests were made. These arrests were made for exposure of sex organs, lewd and lascivious conduct, and I think prostitution. I don't think, but perhaps you do, that the morals of strip club operators in Miami Beach are higher than those in Miami. In all the emails that I've received on this subject, I've not received one from any parent who told me that they thought dancing at such a place was the kind of job they aspired to for their daughters. When that time comes, I'm leaving, I'm going to Siberia, and I think you will follow me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Let us go Erica, followed by David.
Hi. Erica Brigham of 735 2nd Street. What are the hours now?
Okay, question on the ordinance. Hours of the ordinance, George? Current hours and whether this ordinance has an effect, if so, how?
The current ordinance only restricts the hours of operation of partially nude establishments. It does not control or restrict the hours of operation of a totally nude establishment without alcoholic sales. The proposed ordinance would change the hours
Right now, it would add total nudity to partial nudity, and it would change the hours that are restricted right now for a partially nude establishment with alcoholic sales from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. to noon to 5 a.m.
So we're talking about noon to 5 a.m. In my experience, where I used to run a business around the corner from there, when there were driving around at 7 o'clock in the morning, there were often people who had been to these, the places where the kids used to go, the juice bars. And the street was just a mess in the morning when kids were going to school with people that were just drunk out of their minds. And I think with having this sort of thing going on till 5 a.m. is certainly going to have the same effect and be very, very detrimental for the kids. One of the things that was mentioned by the parents were the signs that were out in front, and I'm wondering if these are the signs that this owner is suing individuals in the planning department about. Some kind of sign or display that the planning department wanted him to remove as too suggestive. And I wonder if this is the action of a thoughtful, sensitive, cooperative businessman who's apt to work well with the city in the future should any problems arise. I'd like to know what possible benefit there is to granting this largesse to this business. In the face of major opposition from very responsible residents, educators, parents, business people, and the planning board, how can it even be considered in a positive way? The only excuse I've heard is some vague reference to conventioneers, which I think is kind of an outdated concept itself. If we really have people attending events at the convention center who expect alcohol and total nudity, they can find it across the bay at another one of Mr. Griffith's venues on Biscayne Boulevard, which, by the way, is making a very successful and concentrated effort to clean up their act on Biscayne Boulevard. I don't think we need to promote the degradation of Washington Avenue and of women by encouraging a population of horny, drunken men wandering about the street. Washington Avenue has always seemed to be on the verge of revitalization, but there's still pockets of resistance, and one is that area on the east side of Washington Avenue between 14th and Lincoln Road. Granting a liquor license to a strip joint is not going to improve the quality of business for the residents or visitors, and may very well be keeping other good businesses away at that very, very important intersection of Lincoln Road and Washington Avenue, which should be a very, very vital area. And I think people are driven away by the condition that it's in. So please vote against it.
Thank you.
Absolutely nothing positive for it.
Thank you. David? Come on, David. David Kelsey? Followed by, we heard Bill today. Gary, you want to? Okay, and Tony. All right.
Good evening, David Kelsey, a resident of South Beach for about the last 16, 17 years and active in the tourism industry. I think the issue here is really not so much about the influence this would have on children. Clearly, children are not going to be in this club, and I think that there is no compelling evidence that they are going to be accosted by drunks coming out of this club and going into the schoolyard, any more than it would be someone intoxicated coming out of any one of our clubs or restaurants that serve alcohol during the day and during the evening. To me, this is a tourism issue. I think Carl pointed out correctly the rational basis for giving Madonna the right to sell alcohol. This is something that is expected by the tourists and conventioneers. It's an adult entertainment. It's clear what it is from the outside of the building. I don't think anyone could enter that building without knowing what they were going into. He has offered nude entertainment for, 8 or 10 years without really any incident. I don't think there is really sufficient grounds to deny him alcohol sales based on what I've heard.